Hi, I'm Juan Escovedo, and you're watching Break It Down Show.
Yeah. Juan Escovedo has been a touring musician for a long time. You can look at his credits. They are a veritable who's who of popular music in the last 4 decades. Aside from all that, I'll encourage you to go to juanescovedo.com. You can find out all about it. But the important thing is I'm here today with Juan Escovedo, and I'm going to say this in front of everybody. Juan, you are one of my musical heroes.
Oh, really?
Aside from that, you are really, in a lot of ways, responsible for the musical comeback in my life. So I can never thank you enough for that.
You're so welcome.
And
Actually, you were needed.
Okay.
We're at Dwayne Williams from Tony rehearsal, and I had Levi Caesar playing guitar from New Power Generation. And John was there to do an interview, right?
No, we were just there hanging out with Dwayne.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
And I said, and the drummer was late.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and John said, I play drums. Or maybe I
No,
have.
you said that.
Oh, okay.
You said he plays drums, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I said, come up, and we need a drummer right now for rehearsal.
I hadn't at that moment played drums in 15 years.
Yeah, it looked like it. Like, no. You looked a little nervous, but once you got the groove and felt it, you seemed like you were comfortable.
Okay,
you did good.
I'm glad. I was just trying to stay out of the way, and I'm messing it up. But you know what happened that day was I was with Pete, who was here also, and I have to shout out a few people before we get started. So let me just do that real quick. First of all, of course, my co-producer and the guy who technically is making this happen today, Pete Turner, is with us and out of frame. But also Doug Marcos is manning the board. I'm going to thank Andy, who's the guitar player in our band Uncommonwealth, for providing this space. How do you like this space?
Oh, I love it. This is my first time here, and it's pretty close to where I live, about a half hour away. So I'm going to come by and visit.
You should.
I'm just going to knock on the door.
We got tubs here.
So when I say Juan is here, don't say Juan who. Do I have to say Juan Escovedo? And just, do I have a pass?
Do you ever, can you just, you can practically walk into any bar or venue, right? And just say, Juan is here.
Once the single is out, hopefully,
Yeah.
I can go to more places.
I also want to thank, who else I have to thank? I thank Pete, Brad Hutchings for providing us technical support and gear. And then what we're doing here today is promoting your debut solo album, which is mind-boggling.
I know. It took a long time, obviously.
Yes,
because I'm 62.
62.
And I've been doing this since I was 14. I think my first session, I was 14. And then, of course, I played with my father, Peter Escovedo, all his CDs, and my sister, Sheila. I did some of her CDs, and my brother, Peter Michael Escovedo, he has a solo CD. So it's my turn.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm doing it, and I'll be at Yoshi's November 8th, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock show. So come on down, check it out.
So that Yoshi's environment, if everybody who's watching has been to Yoshi's, you know what it's like. It's beautiful there. It sounds great. The band's gonna be slamming. We know it's a Monday night. Give yourself the opportunity to have a little party on Monday night.
Stretch the weekend to Monday.
Stretch the weekend to Monday.
Or take off Monday.
Tuesday off Tuesday. Because you will stay out late. Here's what's gonna happen. I already know because we play at Yoshi's from time to time, and I go there every time. The food's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
The environment's gonna be spectacular. You gotta get dressed.
Right.
Bring your significant other, whoever that is that you think is special, should come with you because you're in for a treat that night. And then the music.
But if you bring somebody that shouldn't be with you, get some seats in the back. Yeah.
They got booths.
The booths.
And you need to remain quiet back there. It is, it's a great night that will be spectacular, and treat yourself on the Monday.
Yeah. And my family is coming from LA.
Man.
I'm not going to say all of them, but hopefully all of them.
Yeah.
I know my mother and father is coming.
Man.
And I think my sister, Sheila, is coming. And Zena, my younger sister, is singing with me,
Okay.
and she
Go ahead,
never
sing.
gets on stage and
Yeah.
sing. She loves to dance, and she dances. She gets a little nervous
She's gonna
with the
sing.
sing, but she's singing on a few of the CDs, the family CDs that a lot of people don't know. Zena sing. She's a great singer.
Oh.
So I had to hire her, and I don't know if I really need to pay her. We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe after the show, she might, put her hand out. We'll see.
Well, I want to run down the inventory of your family and their contributions to this CD. But first of all, one thing I will say about Juan is that you can't. I grabbed this shirt out of my closet and I came down here and I was like, oh man, is that the right shirt?
Wait,
Should
this one?
Maybe I should
It looks
wear
good.
it. But then I thought, you know what? I can't. I know what I'm not going to do is outdress Juan Escovedo.
Yeah, that can't
So
happen.
I'm good with if the shirt fits. I'm just going to wear it, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
resign myself to the fact that there is a sense of personal style that you get from your upbringing, and then of course your 62 years on the planet and figuring
Right.
out what works for you.
Right.
You always have on an exciting shirt, man.
Well, thank you.
So
I love shopping. I really do. I don't like to wear things twice,
really,
which is
just
not
like
good.
that.
Yeah, I cannot stand it because then I take pictures and I see other people posting stuff, and I'm like, I think I wore that twice, and that bothers me. So my closet is kind of crazy because it's so full of shirts.
Okay.
And, yeah, a lot of outfits.
Well, then
I get that from my father, though.
Yeah.
My father's always so dressed up. When we play, he says you have to have, it's on his, when he sends out about the gigs and performing and be on time, of course, and all this, it says suit, tie.
Yeah.
Collar shirt, yeah.
Don't
you
play.
You don't play.
Yeah. Good.
And it can't be
That's-
wrinkled.
That's solid parenting.
It can't have stains. There's no stains on your suit.
That should go without saying.
Right.
But that is solid parenting. So you get it from there. Of
Mhm.
course, in your musical upbringing, you've learned to place yourself. And that's another thing that I learned from you because you and I played together years ago, the first time I played the drums,
Right.
before you kicked me into position to play again.
Uh-huh.
But the first time we played together, and I remember you said some really profound things to me that, I was just trying to, create a space for myself. And,
Right.
and really you influenced a lot of the things that I listen for and that I hear in the music where
Mhm.
I can get a comfortable place.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times young musicians, they want to shine, they want to,
Right.
and sometimes it's like, man, that's not how to shine.
Right.
So those things.
And it takes you away from work if you overplay and you're playing with a band. And I think the drummer is the foundation with the bass. They have to lock in. As me, as a percussionist,
Yeah.
I'm listening to your groove and what you're playing on the hi-hat. So I know either to play around it or stay away from it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
for real.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously, my sister's a drummer. My whole family's are percussion players. So us growing up, there's 4 of us. So we had to learn where to,
Not to stomp on each other.
not to stop on each other, but make it sound pretty nice, let it flow. If you overplay, the feeling is not there, and it's not good for the audience to hear a bunch of rhythms and a lot of just noise.
Yeah.
So you have to, as a drummer, like you're holding the groove, and we play around. We're like the icing on the cake. So you're actually holding the groove for us to play around you. And that, to me, what makes a good percussionist is not to play everything you already know and put it anywhere you think it should be. No, because people ask me, what rhythm is that? What rhythm is that? I said, I don't know. There's no name for it because I'm playing behind the drummer and the bass. So the bass line is holding the groove in the hi-hat and your snare pattern. So I'm playing around that makes you sound better and makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That we're working together as a musician.
Yes. So I want to let that sink in for everybody because what we're going to talk about here today is your solo album that has been a long time coming.
Yes.
And all the things that lead into what's the richness of a Juan Escovedo solo album. So to start off, you wrote a lot of compositions for this album. You've been writing for years and years now? Huh?
Yeah, since I was 14, 15. I mean, we're always motivated as a family. When you're playing together, you're actually writing songs. If you're playing something that you're not listening to other people's music, you're creating your own sound and your own stuff. So my mother plays piano, so we always had a piano in the house. So I started on the piano. My brothers, sister, so we all play piano, and we took piano lessons when we were young, when we lived on 9th Avenue, East 21st. But the problem was, this lady looked like she was 300 years old. So if you have a piano teacher that just like ding, 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 it wasn't fun. But I did get something out of it, obviously. And then when I went to college, I was taking piano lessons. So I learned how to read music, and I played trumpet for years. So a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
It was in elementary
Trumpet
school.
was your first instrument, was it not?
Well,
Well,
it's always been that. I think was my first love,
okay.
because I always played percussion because, the
Yeah.
family did, but I love trumpet. Like, I was the first trumpet in elementary school and playing trumpet, and I loved it. And I just, you get that little mark on your lip when you're playing trumpet. So I started liking girls at 13 or 12, and everybody started. It had to go. So everybody started to kiss girls and this, and I'm like, man, why nobody kissing me, right? So I had that lump on my lip. So I said,
what's that thing?
yeah, what is that? So I'm thinking, do I continue playing trumpet or do I stop and get a kiss? So I dropped the trumpet.
Okay, that explains a lot.
So I started playing percussion.
All right.
So anyway, my co-writer is Michael Angel Alvarado, which is from San Jose, but he moved to LA. So we were writing songs for my CD. Well, actually just writing songs here in the Bay Area. And then he moved to LA. So my whole family is in LA with me.
Yeah.
So I went down there, and every time I go to LA, I said, Michael, we gotta just keep writing. Yeah, keep writing. We're writing and writing. And then I got into too much funk, I thought, and then too much Latin, and then too much jazz. So I had to figure out, because I love all variety of music. I mean, I listen to
all of those though in that order.
Yeah, all of it, love it. So I'm going, because once you get your sound on your CD, that's your following, that's your audience.
Yeah.
So if it's too funky, they're gonna come and
you're gonna lose some of the other audience.
Yeah, so I said, let me try to figure out.
One loves everybody.
I do. So I try to figure out what music will be fun for me. That's what I started looking at. For me as a musician, what music would I love to play, not just listen to?
Yeah.
So I had to really start to create a sound that I know would be fun for me to play on stage instead of faking it. Because I love listening to like every type of music, like I said, but to play it is different.
Yeah.
So I put all of that into this CD. There's Latin, there's funk, there's jazz. It's all in these songs.
Yeah.
And it's fun for me. Like there's rudiments, there's rhythms that I just enjoy, and every song I'm just excited to do my shows, and it just feels good. It felt good.
Yeah, the good feeling. I mean, you project that good feeling, man. The thing that if you haven't seen Juan live, and if you have seen Juan live, you know this. But if you haven't, what you're going to find when you go to Yoshi's on November 8th.
Yeah,
Monday
8
night,
o'clock.
8 and 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 shows.
Yeah. There's treat your special person to something nice and go out on Monday night.
You have to come.
But what you're going to find is that you express music from every pore of your being. Like it comes out of you. And what you reference when you talk about composing a song in real time, because you're there with other people and you're figuring out where you fit in,
Right.
is that your approach, that what comes out to the audience is you're just talking. like you've gotten to the point in your life and your musical career and your, ability and chops that you are communicating with just, you bring an enormous vocabulary, and then you take everybody on an emotional journey with you where they get to feel excited, curious, soothed. You kind of take us everywhere. So that's what you have to look forward to. And this
But it actually starts backstage.
Yeah.
And the friendship I have with all these great musicians.
Who's playing with you then?
I have Billy Johnson on drums, who played with Santana, Frankie Beverly, Mays. Yes. And then I have Gary Brown on bass, play with Flora and Ireto. And then I have Simon Russell on piano, who actually is on my father's new CD, singing and playing. So I have two keyboard players, Bob Crawford on piano, Eddie M, that started with Sheila and us in the 80s. He's on the Glamorous Live CD, and then he played with Prince.
The iconic,
love
the
my brother.
iconic sax line in a Glamorous Life. That's Eddie M.
That's Eddie M, my brother. So him, and then
you guys, of course, toured with Prince together.
Oh yes, we did a lot of tours together. Yeah, and we always stayed in touch. And every time I see Sheila, he's still, he plays.
Still plays with Sheila all the time.
Yeah, all the time. And then I have Martin Kember, who is singing lead. He's from Color Me Bad. I did a concert, I think like 4 years ago, and he was singing lead with his band. And as soon as I heard him singing, I said, and I was always, like I said, always writing. Yeah. And I'm like, when I get this song out, I want him to sing in the band. Yeah. Just through years, I'm not the person that's gonna call you and say, when this happened 5 years from now. Yeah. No, when you get a call, when I call you, it's because it's happening. It's happening. So I called him. I said, man, I got this song written. It was written for El DeBarge. So he was under contract, and he couldn't do the lead vocals because, which he said he would. Yeah. But when I asked him,
well, you and El DeBarge go back a long way too.
Yeah, I was a musical director with him. I actually met him on a TV show. Excuse me, on a TV show. I think it was which one was? It was either American Bandstand, like way in the 80s. No. Yeah, in the 80s, early 80s. And we just clicked. I saw him backstage. Yeah, we're doing the TV show. And then he goes, man, let me get your number. And I'm like, really? El DeBarge wants my number. And he goes, we're going to hang out. And we just been friends. It's been like 40 years or something. We've been friends. So every time he comes in town, he tells me, he goes, Juan, whenever you see my name anywhere in town, you just bring your congas and set up. Right, and then you're hired regardless. So some of these bands he hires from out of town, obviously. Yeah. So they see this little band.
He's got a band.
He has a band, and they rehearse, months or whatever.
And I mean, they get scared. They're like, "Oh boy,
like, who's this Mexican
percussionist? He's bringing a bunch of toys in here. Who knows what he's going to do?"
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I feel weird, but I'm like, El said it's okay. Yeah. So I'm setting up my drum, and I just let them know, hi, I'm Juan. El DeBarge told me to come sit in. They go, okay. So the whole concept
like,
changed.
Here comes this dude. He's going to stomp all over my parts.
Right, which I don't do.
Yeah.
So El comes up, and he goes, Juan, my brother Juan. He hugs me. He goes, man, I'm so glad you're here. And then we go backstage to talk about the show. And he goes, okay, everything's changing. Juan is here. I'm like, dude, really?
Just
me and Juan started the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we have a good time. And he hangs out with me, and, he comes to my house, his brother does, and stay at my house. And like, if he's at the hotel down the street, I'll go stay with him, hang out. Good friend. But yeah, so he's singing background on the single called Angel.
Angel, yeah.
That me and Michael Angel wrote together, and then
the album will be out soon, where everybody will be able to download it.
It's not ready for that yet, but the CDs will be ready for Yoshi.
If you go to the Yoshis
Yeah.
on November 8th.
Yeah,
It's a
they'll
Monday
be
night.
ready.
Set aside Monday night. Take
Yeah.
off Tuesday.
There you go.
8 and 10 p.m. Those two shows. And seriously, everybody should go. The composition itself, here's what's going to surprise some people because you're, known worldwide as a percussionist, but that song in particular is the single, and it's a really nice song. It's not percussion forward.
No.
It's a love song, and it does all of the things that you would wish a love song would do, because your musical, your taste, you don't have to lead with your percussion sensibilities.
That's where the piano comes in.
Uh-huh.
Like I have like 6 pianos at my house and stuff, so I play piano almost every day. I just love it. And it takes me away from beating on drums, and that's what I do for a living. That's where my money comes from. But to get away from that, I sit on the piano and just play chords and just play what I feel.
Yeah.
And that's where this ballad came from. Me and Michelangelo Alvarado helped me, because I'm not sure, like I play things I feel, and then you get a professional musician to correct everything. So it's, of course, the song is not done by just me. And everybody that Oscar Kataya was bass, we actually recorded in Raphael Saadiq's studio in LA. So my father, this is funny. So my father said he was working on his new CD, and I was about to do mine. So he goes, I'm gonna book Raphael Saadiq's studio in LA for 3 days. And I said, why don't you make it 5 days and I could do mine too?
Yeah, you get a bulk discount on 5 days.
So I'm like, just say 5 days and I get 2, because that's all I needed. Because I had all the charts and everything written.
Yeah.
I mean,
came in prepared.
I was prepared, always prepared. So when your opportunity hit, you're ready.
Yeah.
You don't get ready to be ready. You've been doing it. You should be doing this for years before you have the opportunity to do what you want to do, right? You don't just say, oh, I want to write a song, and then you start writing. I've been writing for years.
Says the guy who's been touring the world for decades and waited until age 62 to release his solo album.
But I actually tried 3 different times.
Is that true?
I was in the studio doing the CD, and it just didn't feel right. And I had the wrong producer. I ain't gonna say who it was, but I was writing songs and doing stuff. And every time I came to the studio, it wasn't what I heard and what I wanted it to be.
Wow.
So when I kept coming in, I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
And you chose not to brush it out?
I said, and we were already 3 songs in. And I said, I'm gonna squash it. It's not the right people. And I tried it again, and it didn't happen. So everything right now is in place.
That makes a big difference. I think everybody take a listen to that. I mean, when you have an artist who's willing to start off and squash it.
Stop. Yeah. If it's not right, I don't want to do it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that says a lot about this album that you have coming out. The album is called The J.
That's my nickname.
Oh, is that what it? I thought it stood for the jacket. Tell a story about the jacket.
Oh, so the CD cover. So
the J doesn't stand for the jacket.
No, I might change it to the jacket. But when I was doing my CD cover, my father and we're so close. We talk about everything. My mother, father, sister Zena, Sheila, Peter Michael, who my brother produced this CD. Man, he did an amazing job. Anyway, so
wait a minute. So the first time around, we can say I don't want to name names. It wasn't the right producer.
It wasn't my brother.
It wasn't your brother.
Oh no, he made this CD happen. I mean, for real.
I don't know why you would have Peter Michael for a brother and then not choose him to be a producer, but that's okay.
Well, to be real, I wanted to do it on my own, away from the family.
Okay.
So I wanted to create my own foundation, my own people around me. But actually, I found out I actually really need them.
Yeah. And
they helped. Sheila's on drum, my sister playing drums, my brother, my father had input in it, even my mother, Zena. Like when I was writing the songs with Michelangelo, I would bring it to the house because I'm in LA. And Pops would tell me, we're so close. there's a way to criticize something and make it better or make you feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So they just said, this part is great. The hook needs help, the melody or the intro. So I'll get feedback from the whole family. And that's what I had to fix and work on. And then they pushed me to make it better and better and better. And my brother, he has so many creativity, great ideas and stuff that he has so much input in these songs that made it just sound amazingly great. I mean, I love every tune, and I think everybody should be happy about this.
Yeah.
These songs. We'll see.
Well, it's fantastic to hear that, I think this is one of the things that we all have, like a familial struggle where we say, hey, I have to, at some point in my life, I have to do this without my family support.
Right.
Because I have to do it for me. And then to realize, you know what? It's not because I have to, it's because it's better.
And I wanted
my
them
family
involved.
support.
Yeah. Because they know. I mean, they've been there before me.
Yeah.
Like I said,
And they know your playing voice, they know
Right.
your vocabulary.
Right.
You guys all developed those
That's
things
true.
together.
That's true.
Man.
And like we've been playing together forever, and they all had CDs before me.
Yeah.
So they guided me the proper way to make sure everything turns out good. They had my back, and they still do, and that's who we are as a family. So we just, we always support each other, play together, and we all want to make it. There's room for everybody. Even my cousins, Renee and Paris Escovedo, they're great musicians.
Yep.
So there's always room to help others, and it's not all about me. It's we all need to want to work and love playing. So you just keep going and keep pushing yourself to another level.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to say something that I'm sure 1,000 other people say, and I love your moms and pops, man. I love
Me too.
them so much. They are so, everything, kind, welcoming. They want everybody to succeed. So I can only imagine how much they love and want you to succeed.
Right.
Even I'm fortunate enough to have met them several times, but really barely know them, except that whenever you're around them, they make you feel like you know them forever. And so
they adopted about 8,000 people so far.
Yeah.
And it's still climbing.
Well, the thing you mentioned about their contribution musically to your growth, to just this CD, and that they helped you out, it doesn't surprise me because all families have that dynamic where eventually should, if you're lucky, you get that dynamic where you can go back to your parents. But it's different when you have an artistic connection, because there's a place for them to say, in whatever it is you do elsewhere in your life, they can critique it, whatever, you can listen, choose not to, whatever.
Right.
But when there's artistic endeavors and you do them together, I think that takes it up several notches. Like there's increased sensitivity. Everything means a little more. It's your baby, it's your creation.
Right.
And when you make a creation together, it means a lot. So I say that because you are a shining example of what it means to come from a musical family, and the opportunity that creates for closeness and love in so many more different dynamics. I made music with my father, and it meant a lot. In fact, I was, when I was a kid, I was a knucklehead. So we didn't get along all that great.
Right.
And then eventually, my dad hired me to play drums for him. And that's where we became a lot closer, started to understand each other, started to really kind of get to know each other as people, instead of as, I had to live under his roof and all that.
Right.
Now we were just two guys collaborating musically together.
So imagine having 3 of those.
Yes.
So
and
yes, it's amazing.
Sibling versus parents, brother versus sister, that all creates an environment where everybody gets like a whole different voice. It's really beautiful to see, man.
And it's a good feeling knowing everything's not just on me. Like there's enough of us that I can lean on my father for something, my brother, my sister, and they would guide me and help me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think the city would be this good. Well, I know it wouldn't be without their help. So the support of my family, being musicians and artists, and and the love that they give me, and also that they already been there before me doing CDs, and they're all still doing great and touring and stuff. So just the advice is sitting there, and it's the way they talk to you.
Yeah.
Like I said, it comes out of love. So, it's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this CD is not just 62 years in the making of your life, but really the collaboration of your family and how that has developed and gelled, and all the miles that you guys have done apart and together.
Right.
And it all comes together to this CD. And we are lucky enough that we get to experience it for the first time on November 8th at Yoshi's, 8 and 10 o'clock. You know what you should do? Everybody, you should go to dinner at Yoshi's. Now, set aside a little bit of money because the food there is spectacular.
Right.
Plus, you probably want to get some new duds because you want to look special.
That's
and
it.
You want to bring your special person.
Don't look better than me, though. Don't have a better shirt than
I'll
me.
say try to look better than one.
Oh, try.
Good luck.
Good luck.
But yeah, come out and really come out.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be
then,
fun.
Maybe what you should do is have an early dinner and go to the 8 o'clock show, or
And then go to the second show.
just stay and have the second show, because I've been to your events that have two shows. They're not the same show.
No.
So
No.
it's not like if you go, I don't know if I should go to the 8 o'clock show and then the 10 o'clock show. It's
Right.
not like going to the movies and watching the same
That's
movie two times.
So true.
You are going to get two different shows.
Because we're gonna be in different mode, and feeling is
Uh-huh.
gonna be different than the first show. So once just so people that are not a musician and know that when you do a first show and then you go backstage, you actually talk about the first show, how you make it better, clean it up, do this, right? Or let's add this, right? Eddie M, I want you to play, not now play on this solo. We mix it up.
Yeah.
So the songs are structured as, verse, chorus, bridge, and all this stuff. But the feeling is going to be different second show. And I might add a little something. And I might bring up some people on the second show.
Here's what happens. The first show is great because you get first show nervous energy, which is amazing.
Right.
To witness. In the audience, you get so much excitement. And so if anybody's thinking, well, I'll just come to the second show because you'll have it straightened out. No, believe me, it will be straightened out.
Oh, yeah.
The first show will be terrific.
It's going to be clean.
And that energy will be
Out of excitement.
it'll be pure excitement and that fantastic. What happens in the audience if you go to both shows is that you'll be able to tell, oh, here are the different expressions. It's not that the second show is, the first show wasn't as good or anything like that. It'll be that the second show will be a different expression because that nervous energy produces one thing. And then when you go back and you talk about it, you rearrange it, you may just say, hey, well, let's just open up the middle and see what happens.
Right.
And you're going to be surrounded with a cast of characters where everybody is capable of being a band leader. Everybody is capable of understanding everyone else's musical vocabulary, and everybody else is reading the excitement in the crowd.
Right.
So that whole dynamic environment will absolutely make it worth being at both shows. The other thing is, if you have a friend who went to the second show and you went to the first show, you're going to talk to that friend and he's going to be like, dude, you should have been at the second show.
Right.
So, yeah, go to
Or
both shows.
if you have two girlfriends, bring one at the first one, bring your other girlfriend at the second one. I'm just saying.
My wife is watching. Good idea. Anyway,
Just a thought. It just popped in my
I mean,
head.
hey,
I thought I
to
should
each
say
his
it.
own. You know what? If you do that way, this will be a great way to execute that.
And make sure the first girl get in her car, walk her to the car,
Walk
make
her
sure
all the way to
she
the car.
leaves, and then the other one show up. Like, you got to make that.
Yeah,
You don't want to get caught.
You got to coordinate.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to make a scene at the Juan Escovedo show. Then once again, the Yoshi's on November 8th. That's a Monday night. Great thing about Monday night is you get to have a 5-day weekend. Is really the idea. Take
Wait,
that
there's
Monday.
a 5-day?
No, it will be if you go to the
Wait,
Juan Escovedo
isn't
show.
the weekend Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, Friday,
So that'd
Saturday,
be 4.
Sunday, Monday.
Oh, I
Take
see.
Tuesday off.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
go to work
Okay.
on Tuesday. Because what's going to happen when you go to the 10 o'clock show?
Well, I don't want people missing work and they say, well, Juan Escovedo's fault. That is my, or your fault.
It's not.
You're saying you
I'm
got to go to work.
saying you Juan Escovedo.
They can still leave
Because
at 11, get home at 11:30 and be in bed by 12 and still get up.
You know what?
I'm not saying this work.
Here's
John is
my
saying-
guarantee, not once, is that if you go to the 10 o'clock show, you'll be in bed by 11:30, but you still
You
be
good?
awake until about 2:30.
Really?
That's what the music's going to do for you, ladies. That's what the music's going to do for you. So this is my prescription. Go there, early dinner, have a great meal at Yoshi's.
Mhm.
Maybe enjoy that 8 o'clock show. Grab some dessert afterwards.
And the
Do
other
the dessert
girlfriend
in
come
the
at
middle
10.
of the right. Swap out. They should walk her all the way to the front. Have your dessert in between shows, and then go to the 10 o'clock show and enjoy that. Because Juan is going to be able to see who's in the room,
Right.
and he's going to be able to see who he can pull up, and that will also be spectacular.
And I will be signing autographs and the CDs will be there. And I just ordered my t-shirts.
Okay.
So they're the cover of the CD. I have a black t-shirt with the cover of the CD. So I'll be there signing too.
Can I? Let's see.
I should have brought you a shirt.
You should have.
You know,
That'd be great, man. I'll take it. There's a story though behind the jacket. That's why I brought it up. So
Oh.
tell us how it is that you have that CD cover. I believe that the cover is also going to be is the cover of this show. So whoever clicked on the link on Facebook or
Right.
on YouTube should also see that image. And it's you, relaxed as you always are, and you have congas next to you,
Mhm.
and you're wearing something exciting as you always do. But it's the jacket.
Yeah, I went shopping, so I'm like, okay, because the image has a lot to do with the sound and when they see the cover, they're like, okay,
Total
this
package.
package.
Total package.
So I'm going down to this place in LA, which I know they have some weird clothes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm walking and it called me. It said, Juan, CD cover. That's what it said. The
Okay.
jacket said it. So I'm going, is that too much? I'm going, well, the jacket is bright. It's still gray and black. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Has a lot of glitter. And I said, well, I could tone it down with the rest of it. So I put on the white shirt, slacks. So I got the jacket. Now you got to find the congas that match the jacket. So I know my friend,
That's the most Escovedo thing you would say all day. You gotta find the congas to match the jacket.
It started with the jacket. So Tam Sagayan, great friend of mine.
Also, great style, great
Great
percussionist.
player.
What's up, Tam?
Known him, yeah. What's up, Tam? So I've known him for years, and he makes these covers for congas.
Okay.
So he has his own design.
That's right. Yes.
Yes. I said, if anybody could match my jacket, it's Tam.
Okay.
So I called him, Tam. I said, I just need some glitter, some stuff on the congas, and gray, silver, whatever. So he picked them out, and then we put on black conga heads, and that's black and gray match the congas. Then I went to the studio. It's called Note Academy on Fruitvale, where they teach, and Simon Russell runs this company there. So there's a piano there. So I play piano and congas. So I said, let's bring in the grand piano. So pulled that up, and it happened to be some fake flowers on the top of the piano. And they're like, oh, we got to move that. And I'm going, no, leave it. They go, really? I said, let's just see what it looks like. So then we're taking the picture. My friend Tito, who did the video, my single, that the Angel video, he did that. But anyway, so he's there. So the red of the rose of the plastic flower, the rose, is where the J came in, that's in red. So that little spark of red created everything around the whole CD. So I had gray, black, and a little dash of red.
And all it takes is that tiny spark of inspiration,
And it just
to
went.
provide the whole splash.
It's all meant to be.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking forward to when you buy the new album, the debut solo album from Juan Escovedo, The J.
That's
It
it.
stands for Juan, or it might stand for Jacket. You don't know. The whole thing came from the visual experience being wrapped in with the musical experience, and it
Right.
all ties together. So, yes, all of that will happen. Also, so yeah, great, and thank you, Simon Russell, for providing that environment for the shop.
Yes.
He will also be on piano at Yoshi's. on
He sure
November
will.
8th, Monday night.
Yes.
So he'll be a
And Leah Ticey, amazing
Ticey.
singer.
She was also there.
Well, my father, she's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great band.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
She's
fun.
been on also on this show a few times, and she was there that fateful day.
Yeah.
At Dwayne's place.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You guys were preparing, I think, for a Warriors game.
Right, that's true. Play for the Warriors.
Yeah, I hate to bounce around topics, but coming back to that, I was just there because we were with Dwayne that day,
Right.
and he said, "Hey, there's a rehearsal happening at my, we were at his house. There's a rehearsal happening right in here tonight. And Levi's gonna be there." And he asked me, "Have you ever met Levi?" And I was like, "No, I've never met Levi. I really want to meet Levi. I've been a big fan of his ever since he played bass on Sign of the Times."
Yes.
So
Amazing piano,
yeah,
guitar,
amazing everything.
bass, singer, who does it all.
Fantastic bass player on that
Yes.
album, which is of course one of my
These are all Bay Area musicians.
favorite albums.
Yes.
But he then went on to play guitar for Prince for many albums
Mm-hmm.
after that. But
And he co-wrote some of the songs
Yeah.
with Prince. A lot of people don't know. And he also managed the Paisley Park,
the facility itself.
yes, he worked in there and helped Prince with a lot of decisions and a lot of things, creating the Paisley Park company and stuff. Yeah, he was part of all that.
Wow. So yeah, I was just there for that. And then when we ran into each other that day, and met Leah that day, and it was just my opportunity to sort of reintroduce music into my life in such a phenomenal way.
Mhm.
So this is the kind of thing that comes out of your the way that you exude music, because it's not just the music that comes out. It's the vibe, it's the
Mhm.
mood, it's the energy, it's the love, and it all ties together. It's all going to show up on the debut solo album from our guest today, Juan Escovedo. I mentioned that you were one of my musical heroes. I also want to shout out the person who introduced us, which was Richie Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
It's pronounced Oakland, even though everybody says Oakland.
That's what I
But
said.
everybody knows
Richie
it as
Osborne.
Richie Oakland. And he
Yeah.
introduced us. So I'm always thankful for that. But you play in a band with him and Mio Flores called the Funky Latin Orchestra. You guys, to me, don't play frequently enough. I wish you would
I
play
agree with
many
you.
more
I
times.
tell Mio all the time, let's put some gigs.
Book it, Mio. But what disappoints me is that if you guys only play twice a year and I miss any of those gigs, and I'm like, oh man, I'll have to wait 6 or 8 months
Right.
to see you again.
But the thing about this band, there's so many amazing musicians in this band, and they're all like leaders of their own band.
Right. So everybody's
That's
always-
why it's so hard to book us.
Yeah.
We're always booked.
Everybody's
Everybody's
busy.
else. So when it happens,
Uh-huh.
it is special.
Yeah.
And Neil Flores put a great band together, and it's all of our band, but Neil is the main person that does all the work and makes sure everything is cool. But yeah, we all have input and stuff in this band, and I love playing with that band.
Well, the thing about that band that's so remarkable is for a band that plays together a couple times a year.
Right.
I mean, do you ever actually rehearse?
We actually always rehearse the day before or within
So
that
you might
week.
throw together a rehearsal to prepare for
Yeah,
the
we
gig.
have to, because it's
I promise you,
It's
guys,
so
when you
long
go
to-
see
yeah.
when you see these guys play together, the compositions that you guys are playing are just magnificent, man.
and that comes from
complex.
Neil. Neil picks all the songs. Yeah.
But the ability for you guys to come in with, I mean, we're not talking about, hey, let's get 3 guys together who know each other for a long time and we'll play, like a pop tune, like Brown Eyed Girl that everybody
Right.
knows. You guys are playing like complicated salsa arrangements
Yeah.
with rhythmic patterns that require miles,
Right.
and then you execute it
Right.
like you've been doing it the whole time. So that's if you ever get the opportunity to see one in any setting, you should do it. If you see him with the Funky Latin Orchestra, I promise it'll be transformative and life-changing because of also our friends being in Florida, and especially Richie, who I love very much. But I also, like I said, regard you as a musical hero for all of your contributions in taste and listening, just musicality that you've given to me and to a lot of people around me.
Oh,
Yeah, and I say that without any mention of the fact that I don't think I've ever mentioned that I also hold your sister in very high regard, and not to mention I've also probably had a crush on her for about 30 seconds. So
I never heard that before.
I know.
Only every week.
So the album once again is called The J. That's what we're here to promote. That's it. You should listen to it. Other compositions on there, because you've mentioned Angel, which is a great love song.
Right.
But you have really every style is represented on that album.
Oh, you know what?
Played throughout your
I
career.
forgot to say that Andy Vargas of Santana is singing on a song called This Time. And I sent him the song right before Santana went to Vegas to do their show. I caught him perfectly 2 days. He had 2 days to do the lyrics.
Yeah.
And my friend Keith Martin, that lives in Indonesia, is a guy that I tour with Hammond. So he has CDs out, and I always loved the way he wrote lyrics to his songs.
Yeah.
So when I was writing my songs, I'm not good at the lyrics. I'm good with the music. So like I said, if I'm calling you, it's for a reason.
It's on.
So I said, I got 3 songs, but I said, here's one. Let me see what you can do with the first one.
Yeah.
And I talked to him, let him know the concept of my idea, where it should go, with my ideas of the song, and he put the lyrics together.
So wait a minute, as you consider the musical arrangement for a song, you have a composition in mind for the story that you're telling also. Is that what you're saying?
No, first I do the music, and to me, it has to be a great melody.
Okay.
Simple, nice, people can relate to. And then I talked to so the melody was already done.
Okay.
So when I sent him the song in Indonesia, he just had to put the words to it and let it flow. So I knew he was a great lyricist, and so I said, I gave him Angel was the first one I gave to him, the single.
Okay.
And he did such a phenomenal.
That was the first one that ended up being the single.
Yes, and it was so good. And then I sent him another one. Then I'm like, send him another one. So he did the lyrics to all the songs.
All right.
Yeah, he did an amazing
Wow,
job.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So you brought up one of the things in your career, in your illustrious career, with practically every great artist of the 20th and 21st century, the Hammer Tour.
Yes.
Because that's, at the time, that was the biggest tour in the universe.
Right.
I mean, that
The Too Legit tour.
The Too Legit tour. So that followed the great big Hammer hits that our guest number 1, James Early, produced.
Yeah, that's true.
He was the very first guest on this show.
Really?
Yeah. So
love him. Great guy.
Love
Great
him too.
player.
But you and Richie were on that tour together with Billy Johnson, who will be playing with you on November 8th.
Yes. There was 2 drummers, 2 percussionists, about 18 singers.
18 singers. And
And
about 35
30
dancers.
dancers. Yes, it was amazing. Yeah.
Here's what I heard about you guys on that tour, because, I spent a lot of time with Richie, and sometimes he would just be telling a story about something that happened. And he said that really the 3 of you and Billy and Richie were the veterans on the tour. And so they would have, people would have to share rooms, and they'd be like, well, how come Juan got a room all by himself? How come Rich got a room all by himself? And it was because you guys had worked all of that out contractually from the beginning.
Right.
And then after that, the tour started to grow, and he was cramming everybody he could on a bus because he wanted 30 dancers and 22 singers. But no matter how many singers and dancers you have, the percussion skills don't move.
Well, not in the beginning.
Okay. Not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning. Yeah, it took me a minute, because once I noticed Billy and Richie had their own room, I said, because they call me, they go, boy, everybody's doubling up. I'm like, oh, really? So Felton Pilot from Confunction
Uh-huh.
called me. He was a musical director and
Yeah.
wrote a lot of those songs.
I think he was guest number 60 on the show.
Really? Yeah, Felton's an amazing
Yeah.
guy. I mean, just
He's
he
influenced
plays-
everybody
Yes.
around here musically.
and people don't know
Yeah.
the stuff he's done.
Musically and in life, because he's
Yes.
also a beautiful dude.
Beautiful guy, man. Every time I see him and stuff, he's just so kind and always have time to talk to you. Pull you on the side and talk about music or his family, whatever. But great guy.
Also the coolest dude you're ever gonna meet. When
He
you
is.
meet him,
He's
you're
kind of he's
talk to him for 2
soft-spoken.
minutes.
Yeah,
And when you walk away, you think, that's the coolest dude I ever met.
right. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So he called me for the gig and stuff. And then he was saying that there's like 800 people on the tour, so everybody has to double up. And then I find out Richard and Billy has their own room. I'm like, really? So I'm kind of, I'm rehearsing and we're talking. Oh, cool, all right. So I'm talking to the management but it actually was fun to room with some of the guys. I mean, you're a grown man. I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
But some of the
Sometimes it
roommates,
takes you back. And you get to be a
Yeah.
kid with somebody again.
yeah, but it's not cool.
If it works that way.
If it worked.
Yeah.
But it actually worked for me
Yeah.
because Keith Martin, that did the lyrics on it, was one of my
It was one of
roommates.
your roommates.
But Lau, another guy, was my room. So I actually roomed with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And we're like best friends because we were roommates. So actually, but eventually,
So it
got
worked
home.
out.
It worked out
For a
great.
while.
I wouldn't have had this connection with some of these guys. So yeah, when you live with someone on the road, you really
Get to know them.
you think your wife knows you.
You get to know their wild side a little bit.
Oh man, it's fun and
Not that
crazy.
anything wild happens on tour.
Never. We're just like church people.
Yeah.
And we just come in early and nope.
Man.
We just hang out. But my best friends today is from different tours.
Yeah.
Like Eddie M, we toured with when we opened up for Prince on the after Purple Rain movie came out. So Eddie M was my roommate and Carl Pedazzo, and so yeah, I mean you become really close.
Yeah.
Or enemies, one or the other.
Right.
But for me,
But
we
it
all
works itself
became
out.
great friends.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
Who's not gonna love Juan Escovedo? Even that.
Well,
even
back
as a
then-
roommate.
And back then,
Uh-huh.
kind of wild. But,
Okay.
it's all good now.
Yeah.
I toned it down.
Have you really?
Yes.
You're releasing a debut CD
Uh-huh.
at age 62. That's a young man's game. So
I feel young. I feel good.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You look at, you're energetic as always. I would say that everybody who goes on Monday, November 8th, to Yoshi's 8 and 10 p.m. You'll have a great time. Go
Yeah.
8 and 10 p.m.
There you go.
Yeah,
And you can keep the same girl too.
you can
Bring the same girl.
if you really,
I advise that.
if you really
actually.
love her. If you
Yeah.
really love her.
Or a friend,
Bring her to
or a
both
neighbor, or so good.
Yeah, no, it's nice also to gather with people. It's a great show for also musicians to go together.
That's
Because
true.
The other thing that happens, especially if you're an artist or a musician, is you walk away from there energized.
There you go.
Promise that's going to happen.
There you go.
And shoot, you may just walk away from there and go, well, I was going to go to sleep, but now I got to go straight to practice and get a couple hours of woodshedding in afterwards.
But the main thing is that you just, because of COVID and all this and what was happening, like there was no music and stuff, to just sit down,
Yeah.
like you said, eat, have a good time, and just feel the music and what we're gonna get. It just take you out of the zone of whatever, you're going through, good or bad. It'll take you to another emotion and excitement, and yeah, I guarantee you leave out there, leaving the show happy, pumped, feeling good, and just something that you can talk about later and say that was a great show. That's my hope for it.
Yeah, I think you won't stop talking about it.
In a good way.
If you buy the CD, which will be ready by then,
It'll be there.
you'll have that as a remembrance of the night, and you'll have something that I bet if you have a CD player in your car and you put it in there, it's gonna be in there for a while.
I hope so.
It's just gonna be in the rotation.
I hope
long,
so.
long
And
time.
buy a t-shirt.
That's right, and buy a T-shirt. And if you're lucky, maybe you get a reproduction of the jacket. Probably not.
No, there's only one.
Hey, last thing I want to say is, we're about the same size, so you don't like to wear things more than once.
Oh.
Anyway, our guest today has been Juan Escovedo, one of my favorite people in the universe and one of my musical heroes. And one last time, the album, his debut solo CD, is called The J, and it will be ready for you to purchase at Yoshi's. Go to the show. It's a record release party. Who doesn't love a record release party, man?
Right.
8 and 10 p.m. November 8th. It's a Monday night. Take Tuesday off. Your lady will thank you for it. Thank you.
Bye. Later.
Hey, thanks for watching the show. I really appreciate it. Right here, you can subscribe. Please do that. It makes the show grow. Hit that notification bell so you know which incredible guest is coming up next. Down below is the PayPal link. You can put a small subscription in. That is an enormous help. All that money goes right back into the show. And then right up over here are the next episodes you should listen to, curated by yours truly. Thank you so much for watching the Break It Down show.
Good. Do you remember me?
Yeah.
Good. How are you?